yogurt in your fridge right now might have 0 live bacteria in it. Not a little. 0. The manufacturer killed them before it left the factory. And the label still says probiotic. 6 brands are doing this. 3 actually work. And 1 brand on this list, I genuinely did not expect it to be there. Before the brands, there's a single loophole. 4 words. It explains how every brand on this list is completely legal. And once you hear it, you'll never read a yogurt label the same way again. It takes 20 seconds. Here it is. Heat treated after fermentation. That's it. That's the loophole. A manufacturer ferments real milk with real cultures, Lactobacillus acidophilus, Bifidobacterium, the strains you've heard about. Full process, legit yogurt. Then they apply heat after fermentation. So everything dies, every single colony-forming unit, gone. Then it goes into a cup, onto a truck, onto a shelf, into your cart. Still legally yogurt, because technically it was. The National Yogurt Association created a seal to fight this, the Live and Active Cultures seal. 100 million CFU per gram, verified. Most of the brands filling that aisle don't have it. Now let's talk about which ones. Brand 1. Yoplait Original. Most purchased yogurt in America. Kids eat it every morning. Parents buy it thinking they're making a smart call. No Live and Active Cultures seal. Modified corn starch, gelatin. Both are texture fillers. They show up when fermentation isn't doing the structural work that real yogurt fermentation does. The probiotics on the label? Marketing. The bacteria? Gone. You've been buying a sweetened dairy pudding at yogurt prices. That one's bad. But the next brand is doing something different and honestly more frustrating. Because it actually has live cultures. It just spends them fighting against itself. Brand 2. Activia, the gut health brand. Bifidobacterium animalis, real strain, documented benefits, clinical research exists. The bacteria are alive. So far, fine. 19 grams of added sugar per cup. Researchers at Yale, and this has been replicated, found that high sugar intake actively disrupts gut microbiome diversity. The microbiome you're eating the Activia to support. The bacteria are trying to do their job. The sugar is dismantling the environment they need to do it. It's not that Activia doesn't work, it's that the formula works against itself. And Dannon, the parent company, knows exactly what a clean probiotic product looks like, because they also make the next brand on this list. Same company, different product. And the contrast tells you everything about how these decisions actually get made. Brand 3, Dannon Fruit on the bottom. Warmer branding, real fruit. Feels more wholesome than the Yoplait red foil lid. Same outcome. The non-Greek Dannon line is largely heat-treated. Live culture count at point of purchase is negligible for most flavors. Here's what makes this one land differently. Activia is a Dannon product. Both brands, one company. They manufacture a genuine probiotic product and a dead culture product under the same roof. The regular Dannon line wasn't designed to be healthy. It was designed to sell. The next 2 brands are different. No missing cultures, no sugar overload. The problem is something almost nobody thinks to check. And for people with the exact gut problems yogurt is supposed to solve, these products are making things worse. Quietly. Consistently. Brand 4, Dannon Oikos 000. 0 added sugar. 0 artificial sweetener. 0 fat. High protein. This is the one fitness-conscious buyers reach for. It looks like the answer to everything wrong with the other brands. Chicory root fiber. In small amounts, generally fine. In the quantities Oikos uses it, gastroenterologists flag it consistently as a bloating and cramping trigger for people with sensitive digestion. It shows up in clinical notes. It shows up in consumer reviews at scale. If you have a sensitive gut and you pick this specifically to help it, the ingredient designed to boost the fiber number may be generating the exact symptoms you were trying to fix. The label doesn't mention that risk. The marketing certainly doesn't. 5 brands down, 1 left on the skip list. And I want to be careful with this one, because half of this brand is genuinely one of the best options on the shelf. The other half is a completely different product wearing the same name. Brand 5, Siggi's Flavored. Siggi's Plain is one of the 3 brands I'm going to recommend, but the flavored line is not the same product. Added sugar climbs into the moderate concern range. Several flavors list natural flavoring, which under FDA rules is a legal umbrella for hundreds of compounds. Some of those compounds a consumer would not recognize as natural by any ordinary definition of the word. You're paying a premium price built on the reputation of the plain version for a product that's meaningfully different. Same brand, different formula, different outcome. The peach mango on the label is not the story. The ingredient list on the back is 6 brands, all legal, all on shelves right now. And here's the thing. What I just told you is the publicly available version of this story. The finding I haven't gotten to yet is the part that changes how you think about every yogurt with a seal on it. Not just the bad ones, the good ones too. The National Yogurt Association seal. 100 million CFU per gram. Verified at manufacture. That last part is the problem. Researchers tested NYA-certified products across the retail cold chain. Factory to distribution center to delivery truck to store shelf to grocery case. What they found was that temperature inconsistency during normal American grocery distribution degrades live culture, counts significantly before the expiration date. A refrigeration case that ran warm for 1 shift. A truck that sat in summer heat for 2 extra hours loading. Small variations. Compounding damage. The CFU count on the seal was accurate when they measured it, at the factory. That's not when you're eating it. By the time a certified product has moved through average distribution, sat in a retail case, and been in your fridge for a week, the live count can be a fraction of what the seal implies. Nobody lied. The number was real at the moment of measurement, but you assumed that number was what you were getting at the moment of eating, and those are 2 completely different moments. That gap exists for every yogurt with that seal, including the 3 I'm about to recommend, which means how you store it matters as much as which one you buy. Remember the 4 words from the beginning: heat treated after fermentation? Here's the second half of that idea. The cold chain is doing a slower version of the same thing, not intentional, just physics. Okay, you now know more about yogurt than most people who work in grocery retail. So here's what to actually do with it. 3 brands, 1 storage rule, and 1 label check that takes 10 seconds. Best option? Stonyfield Organic Plain. 6 live strains. NYA seal. Short ingredient list. No added sugar in the plain version. The fermentation does the structural work. No fillers, no thickeners needed. This is what the product is supposed to be. It's been consistently verified and it's in most major grocery stores. Also, excellent. Siggi's Plain, Icelandic-style sky-air fermentation, higher protein than standard Greek yogurt, minimal ingredients. The plain version is genuinely different from the flavored line. Cleaner formula, better CFU stability. If you've been buying Siggi's Flavored, move 3 inches left on the shelf. Better product. Sometimes lower price per serving. Widely available, Chobani Plain. 5 documented live strains. NYA seal. No added sugar. Most accessible of the 3, usually most affordable. The flavored Chobani line adds sugar. The plain doesn't. You can add your own fruit, and you've built a better product than anything pre-flavored at any price point on that shelf. If none of these are available, plain over-flavored, every time, any brand, the sugar load in pre-flavored yogurt is a bigger problem than brand reputation. Look for live and active cultures in the ingredient list, not on the front label, in the actual ingredients. That's the real signal. The storage rule. Back of the fridge, not the door. Temperature fluctuation at the door is the fastest way to degrade whatever CFU count survived the cold chain. Small habit, real difference, especially for the 3 brands above. You bought the right product, now protect it. Here's what changed. You now know that probiotic on a yogurt label is not a regulated claim. Live in active cultures sealed and verified is, but only at the moment of manufacture. Everything after that is temperature, time, and luck. One thing to do right now. Next time you're in the aisle, flip the container. NYA seal plus a short ingredient list, 10 seconds. That's the entire filter. Everything else on the front of the package is marketing. And here's what this yogurt story is actually about. The gap between what a label is legally allowed to say and what is physically in the container is wider than most people ever think to check. Yogurt just happens to be the one that's easy to audit. The harder question is, what else is sitting in your fridge right now with the same gap? Remember, the front of the package is marketing. The truth is always behind the label.